All right. Hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Can everyone hear me? Cool. Well, welcome back. Almost. We have ourselves 2 classes together this semester. This class is all about what goes wrong with the nervous system. We'll talk about what goes right with it and what goes wrong with it again next semester. But this class is all about diseases of the nervous system. And there's a few of them. Today, I just want to go through the class website to make sure we all know how to get there. Is anyone having problems accessing the class website? I'm going to stop this share for a second in case there's anyone who wants to chat. Okay. I'll assume we can all find it. So it should look something like this for you. The class introduction is not there because this is it. So this will be up there later in case someone can't make it to class. So you won't need to look at that if you're here with us. Below that's the syllabus. I see that several of you can find the syllabus. And as it says, we're going to be using the same book that you used last semester. There's quite a bit of stuff in there. It's a big, heavy book. So we'll be going through some of the later chapters. The course description tells you what the class is all about. It's really about what goes wrong. So the pathogenesis, clinical presentation, lab findings, prognosis, and interventions for diseases of the nervous system. Whether you have an interest in pathophysiology or not, we're going to cover it because that'll be on your board exam. You need to know it. And that's a big focus of this class. I'm not really going to tell you how to help people. I never will. And that's not what this is about. You're probably wondering about grades. And if you scroll on down, that'll tell you about the grades. Mostly it's going to be exams. We'll have 4 exams, one of which will be a final, which is mostly cumulative, but not quite. 70% of that exam is going to be on the 4th unit. So there's going to be 4 different units that we cover in this class, each unit getting an exam. You can see the exams are going to account for about 85% of your grade. You got to get that 75% exam average. There's some additional points for quizzes and reviews. Quizzes are what you're going to do before the lecture. Reviews are what you're going to do after the lecture. Quizzes are true, false. I'm not trying to trick you. If the question seems unclear, just send me an email and I'll let you know what I'm getting at. I just want to make sure that you're looking at the stuff before we come to class. That's the only goal here. I will try to trick you on all the other things. Not really. So if anything ever seems unclear, just send me an email so I can help you. That's my job here, is to help you. I cannot learn for you. Only you can learn for you, but I can help you learn. All right. Like Galileo said, you can't teach a man anything. It's up to you to learn. So you can see the grade breakdown there, same scale as everywhere else. What you might not find everywhere else is the curving policy. So I believe that we have 100 percentage points, and my grade distributions are going to be more spread out than other people's. I get that. The reason behind that is so I can tease apart those at the top from the tip top, because if you only use 25 percentage points, you don't have much of a grade distribution. Everything's squashed. So I allow things to spread out, but I understand that we have decided that 75% is a sacred number, and I curve as a result. And this explains how I curve. I don't always need to. Some classes, do really well, don't need the curve. You never know, though. Sometimes exams are a little harder, and I don't know how hard they are until I give them. So I look at the distribution. I take that into account. If it seems like a hard exam, I just curve it up. No big deal. Exam 2 next semester will be curved. We'll see how this semester goes. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see the schedule. This is what we'll be doing. So today is going over the class organization. That's all we're going to do. On Thursday, we'll hit the first lecture, and then we'll keep on going. So you can see the schedule here. Big things like exams. I put these up on a Google Calendar, and you can find that if we go back to the class website down here. So this will tell you when we have our exams. So they'll be on there. You'll know, though, after lecture 7, the exam will come. If you need to schedule time with me, there's a place to do that. You can schedule a meeting. And if you don't want to and you see me in my office, come on by. I have an open door policy, so drop in so I can help you. Here's a schedule in case you care to know what else I'm doing. There it is. If you want to give me feedback, I have 2 forms for you here. So there's the IOTA. Don't fill that out yet. That'll be the end of the semester. But there's this short form that you can always just drop in things you like or don't like. I'll get an email to know when someone adds something there, and I'll go read it and make adjustments. Because this is your class, I'm just going to stand at the front of it and give the exams. But I want to run it in a way that works for you, so let me know what works for you. Over here on the left, we got our navigation. So below home, there's a Zoom link page. You can just click here to start the Zoom meeting. There's no need to do that. You're already on it. But in the future, if you're going to miss class, this is the link you'll use. I will record all the classes and post them to the website. So even if you miss class, it'll be there for you. So you see here we have 4 units. Within those, if you click the down arrow, you'll see these different lectures here. So let's have a look at lecture 1. This is what we'll be doing on Thursday. So this should look pretty familiar to you. I give you my notes. Hopefully you find them helpful. If you don't read them. There's required reading right on top, and that should have pretty much everything I'm going to talk about. Then there's a quiz below that. Do this before we come to class. Everything's timestamped, so I know when you turn it in, and these are not meant to be tricky. It's just true, false. Do astrocytes interact with both blood vessels and neurons? Well, I don't know. We'll find out. It might be written in my notes somewhere. After the class, we're going to do a review. We can, of course, expand these so they're not so tiny. These are going to be multiple choice, just to give you practice answering multiple choice questions in kind of the style that I write, so you won't be taken by surprise on the exams. Make use of these. And these will also be a way for you to get some points. You can use anything you want when you're doing these. Work together. I think that's really valuable to get together with your classmates and talk about material. That's how I studied. If you don't like to do it, then don't do that. But do complete these within 24 hours after the class. I'd say sooner rather than later, because you'll probably forget stuff. So go through these. If you want to have this up during class and fill it out during class, that's cool too. I don't care. Just do these so you have repeated exposure to the material. That's the purpose of these. You can download the slides just like last semester. And also just like last semester, there's a questions box. I do encourage you to use this as soon as something seems tricky. if you have a question or you want to make sure that I review something in greater detail, write it in there immediately. It doesn't have to be in the form of a question. You can just write, review this, and then submit it. I'll get an email, I'll know that you have a question, and I'll make sure that I hit that in class. What we'll be doing in class is I'll deliver a slideshow, so you don't have to watch any recordings beforehand. It seemed like many people didn't like that, so I'll go through the slides in class, and I'll of course pause for questions, and I'll pose questions to you. If you want to watch a recording, I do have those for some of these, not all, because some are new this year, but it's there if you want to watch it. And if you don't, then don't. I'll cover everything in class. So I'll give you some slides. I'll ask if you have any questions, and then I'll pose some review questions for us to go through. And that's how class will work. You'll see an example of a class on Thursday when we have class. So each unit's going to have a bunch of lectures in it. So for exam 1, that's going to be lectures 1 through 7, because unit 1 is lectures 1 through 7. We're going to start kind of basically and generally talking about the cellular components of nerve tissues, the different divisions of the nervous system, and then some common ways that cells die. That's just, I think, the basic background we all have to have before we can go through all the different problems, and then we'll go through all the different problems. So the first 3 lectures are just kind of background, and then from there, we'll be hitting specific issues of the nervous system. Down at the bottom, we have something called the grade book. That's where we put the grades, and this will be updated in real time, and it'll give you some basic stats in case you want to know what was the average and standard deviation for exam 1, for example. That'll pop up right here after we take exam 1, of course. You'll notice that this is not anyone's name. I sent out an email right before this telling you your code name. If you didn't get it, check your junk. If it's not there, check your junk mail. If it's not there, let me know so I can send it out again to you. You'll use the same code name in this class and scientific inquiry too. This way it's just one fewer things that you have to remember. Just like the Zoom link. You only have to remember one Zoom link, and you don't even have to remember it. There it is. Just click on it. So you'll get your code name. Whoever aardvark is, all their stuff will be filled in here. If you see anything that's wrong, because everything is going to be here. All your quizzes, all 24 of those, all the reviews are going to be the things you do after class. All those will be here. If anything is incorrect, send me an email. You never know. Sometimes people make mistakes, and I'm a person. So that's everything in the class. Some lectures are still going to get built, so they don't have everything up yet. It'll be up before we have the lecture. I promise. Are there any questions for me? Okay, I have a question here about how many points will be available in the class. I use weighted averages rather than points. They accomplish the exact same thing. They're just more flexible. So no, there's not a set number of points available in the class. Instead, it's based on weighted averages of the 4 different components. So your exam average is going to account for 60% of your final grade. So if you have a 90% exam average, then of those 60 points that are available, you get 54 of them, if you want to think of it like points. I've always thought of class averages as averages, because that's what they are. So this way I can add questions to exams or remove them. It doesn't matter if they're worth 45 points, 40 points. Doesn't matter. They're still worth 60% of your final grade overall. So there's no set number. It's all just a weighted average. If you want to sit down and calculate them, go for it. Your grade will come out to be the same. There's going to be a quiz before every single lecture, and Thursday is lecture 1. So yes, we will have a quiz before Thursday. So do the reading, complete the true false questions. If you can't make sense of them, send me an email. I will help you make sense of them.
I have a question for you, Dr. Pitt.
Yeah.
For MedPath last semester, there's about 10 to 15% of just like pure physiology review in the test. Is that going to be similar to this in this class?
The physiology of nervous system function is the focus of neurobiology. So you'll get an entire semester of physiology, basic nerve cell and nervous tissue physiology. There's, let's see, lecture 1 will give you a Reader's Digest version of that. So exam 1 is going to have it. But no, pathophysiology for sure. So how is it that things die? Yeah, you'll get that. How do things work? That's next semester. So you'll have more than enough physiology.
Also, last semester, the green sections in the patho book for PT implications and like treatments and stuff, is that you kind of made it seem like there wasn't an emphasis on how we're going to treat things in your section. Is that accurate or no?
I'd say that's pretty well accurate for any class you take with me. You want to learn how to help people from people who know how to help people. And I could lie to you and read out of the book and tell you this is how you help people, but I'm not going to do that. I'm a pretty honest guy, and sometimes people don't like the way that that comes off. So I will tell you how stuff works at a cellular and kind of organ level basis. I can tell you all about the biology of this stuff, but I cannot tell you how to help folks. And you'll have neuro rehab to tell you how to help folks. I will definitely tell you different treatment options that are available, such as surgery, any pharmacological therapies that we have. And in the cases where physical therapy is highly useful, like after a stroke, I'll mention that, but I won't run through how to do it. So I'll tell you that it's an option, but I won't tell you the best approaches for that because I just don't know them. I'll tell you about the stuff that I know about, which isn't a whole lot, you'll come to find, but enough to fill a few semesters. Are there any other questions? Excellent. Well, if they come up, if it's relevant to a lecture, put it in the questions box for that lecture so everyone can see it and I can answer it there. If it's about the class in general, send me an email. I'm here to help as long as you want it. I will see you on Thursday. I'll see everyone at 9 a.m. on Thursday. After that, the class is split into 2 sections. Not because I like to double my work, but because we have to spread out. We can't fit enough people in the classroom, and not everyone can use the rooms that can accommodate a class of our size. So the way that we are going to help everyone else is by splitting the class in 2. All that means to you is that you have a smaller class size. Most people like that whenever I split my classes. Who knows? Everyone hates something. For me, it means that I gotta, double the number of lectures that I give. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because I love to hear myself talk. On Friday, we're all going to meet for scientific inquiry. This one will be better than the previous semester, if history holds true. I can't imagine it gets worse. I can't say that this semester is going to be better than last semester for MedPath, but I can say that scientific inquiry will be an improvement, other than the fact that you'll just have me and there'll be no buffer there. There are no separate sections there. We're just going to double up the time. And I think it's actually going to work well for that class, but I don't want to spoil what Friday's all about. So you'll have that to look forward to. Thursday, you have nerve cells to look forward to. I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. If there are no questions, I'm going to let you go. And I'll see you on Thursday. Excellent. Well, it was great to see 7 of you, and I'll see the rest of you in class Thursday.